doing this side here, be careful because you keep your hands underneath and you sort of guide the material. Okay, and it has to come up to where my thumb is, up to that point. Smooth it out like this. You go. You go here. It's right up to this mark. Okay. Material bunching up. I just have to push it away. And continue. Good. Find a point. Okay, so we're almost there. 1 centimeter away from the finishing line. Okay, back stitch, and that's it. Everything's stitched up the way it should be. Okay. So now you're ready to sew this, the bottom. In order to do this, all you have to do is turn it inside out like this. Make sure the seams, one here, everything's straight. And you can go like 2 centimeters from the bottom. You stitch, you pin it, and you stitch right along here. Now that you've sewn along here, you turn it inside out again, turn it on to the right side, that is. Of course, before turning, you can just, do some clipping here, this edge here, this side, a little bit. You cut just a little piece off, and you turn it out so that it becomes pointier. Anyway, so you do this and make sure that the seams are to the side where they're supposed to be. The shape is, that's what it is. So the seams are to the side. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take this here, one of the straps, turn it like this, and you sew about 1 centimeter here from the edge, just 1 centimeter, and you do that on the other side. At the lining, you take the lining, the right side to the right side. Okay, this is the top, this is the bottom, and here you go again. You sew along here, here, and here. Now that you've sewn the lining, you can just sort of fold it in half. Well, this is a little stiffer, the material, and okay, this is the top of the bag, and you put it in like this. But even before you put it in like this, what you should do is you should fold about 1 centimeter from the edge, go all around, and there you can either, just to keep it that 1 centimeter, you can baste it, because then when you put this in the bag, you place it in the bag like this. Let's see. Okay. Make sure it's in there. When you place it in the bag like this, you have to stitch all the way around. Okay, you place it properly. You make sure the edges are neat and they match up the way they're supposed to. And you stitch the required all the way around with the required centimeters. So yes, it's in here, and this edge wasn't finished, so you want to turn this in and you can baste it, and this one too. But it's like this part, the folded part to the finished edge, and you stitch all the way around. Before you even try or think of stitching all the way around, remember we wanted to insert a flap, this red plaid flap, to embellish the bag. So we're going to be placing the flap now either here around this part or this part, because at the end we're just gonna close this with a little snap, and then the flap goes like this right around. So I'm gonna show you first. I'm going to do the basting of these edges, and then I'm gonna show you how we're going to insert the flap. This flap is going to be like 13.5 centimeters by 7, and there are two pieces to this flap. This is the stiffer piece, this is a lighter piece. So what we do is we put the right side to the right side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sew around, but you leave either this part open or this one, anyone you prefer, because you're eventually gonna insert this between the lining and the shell. So around the flap was done, and then of course you take it, you press it. You can do a top stitch here right around just to keep it flat and neat. The material I used for the back was a stiffer material, and now it can be inserted. So you can insert the flap, pin it, and then stitch around like this. I want this to fall here for design. So I'm looking really for design, a lot of design, and I want this to fall here. So I'm going to the raw edges, I'm going to insert it this way, in this part here, pin it, and then I would be able to stitch all the way around, keeping everything together, flap, lining, and shell. So when it's stitched, it falls like this. It's gonna fall like this. So I'm gonna just stitch right around and I'll be right back. So it was sewn all around, and there is the flap, and on the flap you can even put the snaps, you know, attach a snap, part of the snap here, part here, and close it this way. You can even use this, put the snaps this way and this way. You close it, and then this is for always for decorative purposes. But for now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just anchor it down here with a pin. Okay, so more or less you have an idea of what it looks like. Okay. So we're gonna now, the last thing, take care of the straps. And what you do is you turn it, this strap this way, and the other way. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the right side to the right side. You put them together and you sew about 1 centimeter from the edge. So when you do this, you sew the top of the straps together. You then go and you match up both edges like this of the straps, and you go all around. You pin and you go all around. For this little handbag, I'm going to start, you can start sewing immediately, maybe from this point, depending on how big your bag is. Because this is a smaller bag and I need a little wider opening, it has to be, you know, the opening just the way it is, because any smaller it wouldn't be too practical. I'm gonna take about maybe 3 centimeters from here, and I'm gonna begin sewing from here. And you pin and you go all the way around, and you go all the way around, and you come back over to the other side, and you leave that 3 centimeter allowance here. Okay, so it's ready to go. Signing off now. Till the next video. Have a nice day.